There's one last quick thing that I want to mention about Redis before we start to actually apply it to our project. One quick thing, I promise. So this is a little bit of a gotcha, but it's a pretty easy one to wrap your head around. Anytime that we try to store data inside of Redis so far, we've always been sticking in like strings only. So whenever we store data inside of Redis, we only have the option of storing numbers and letters. That's pretty much it. In other words, we cannot store a plain JavaScript object directly inside of Redis. Let's try it out right now, and I'll show you what I mean. If I write out client.set, and then I try to set, like, say, colors, and then pass in as a second argument, so this is going to be the value that I'm trying to store here. If I say, like, red is Rojo, like so. So if I run this code right here, I'm going to see an error message. And it's not quite an error message, it's more of a warning. But it says very clearly that the object that I just tried to store got converted into the form object, which is almost definitely not what I actually want to store inside of Redis. So if I were to now retrieve the value that I just stored right there, so client.get colors and console.log, you'll see that I just pulled out a value of object. Definitely not what I wanted. So to get around this, we usually will stringify or turn into JSON any JavaScript objects that we want to store inside of Redis. So let's see an example of that. I could say client.set colors, but this time I'm going to take that colors object of red and Rojo right here, and I'm going to say JSON.stringify, and then pass in red and Rojo, like so. Now I see absolutely no warning because I can safely store JSON. And if I were to get colors now, I would see red with Rojo, like so. Now notice this is still in JSON format, so I would have to parse it by using json.parse. Let's do a very quick example of that as well, just so you see the full story. So I'll do client.getColors. I'll pass in air with val, short for value, and then I'll do a console.log with a json.parse val, close off the console log, and close off the get call. So now, very plainly, I can see that I get back the object red with Rojo. So that's how we store more complex JavaScript values inside of Redis. We can't just store them raw. We have to first turn them into JSON, and then when we pull it back out, we have to make sure that we parse the value as well. Okay, so that was the last thing I wanted to cover. So now, for real, in the next video, we're going to start setting up caching inside of our project. So quick break, and I'll see you in just a minute.